how the heck do I do that? I casually bumped your knee at a game night with your friends. Hi, my name is Avery, and if you don't know me, I make songs about books and I post them on the internet. And I decided that this would be a great time to start a new series called The Songwriting Diaries. Very excited about this. I have been thinking about what I was going to do for a really long time. The Songwriting Diaries is going to be all about figuring out how to put a song out for the first time. I want to shoot a music video. I recorded vocals in a studio for the first time, and I worked with a producer for the first time. This is all so new to me, and I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I am figuring it out as I go, and my hope is that through documenting this process, it will not only convince you that you can do it, having no idea where you're going with it, but also maybe help you learn from some of the mistakes that I learn from along the way. So I've been writing songs since I was probably 10. You know, were they great? But it's something that I've been practicing and felt like I needed to do from a very young age. Flash forward to college, and I started getting more serious about my music. Performed live for some people the year following my graduation, and decided that sharing my original songs was something that felt very fulfilling. Eventually wanted to put it out on streaming platforms. It is such a daunting task to know you have the sound in your mind, but you don't necessarily have the collaborators to make that sound come alive, and you don't have the tools yet yourself to produce that sound. All of my songs started out acoustic, so I learned them on the piano or I made them up while I was playing the guitar, and that is how I performed those songs live. But I knew that if I was being true to what I imagined in my head that this future album would sound like, I knew that I wanted to have more electronic sounds. I wanted to work with a producer who could add synths, add strange noises, make it sound imaginative in a way that I couldn't really do with just guitar and piano. So my first task was finding a producer. I was like, how the heck do I do that? I moved to Los Angeles and basically just put myself in spaces that I knew that I would meet people. I actually went to a play. I saw a play that had about 30 people in the audience. It was a fantastic play, by the way. Met a friend through going to this play. She was an actress in it. Hung out with her, got coffee. She's actually a good friend of mine in Los Angeles now. She was looking at my Instagram page. I happened to post singing videos. She came across some of them and knew that her friend needed a singer for their recording of a musical production. She reached out to me and she said, "Can I forward my number to this person looking for a singer?" And I was like, absolutely, of course. Went to the studio for the first time to sing musical theater vocals, really liked the backtrack for that, and I saw how talented she was. Asked if I could show her one of my songs, and she said yes. So I sent her a recording of me performing that song at an open mic. She watched it, she said, yeah, I'll work on your song. I sent her over the chords. I sent her some sounds that I was inspired by, some albums that I loved. She turned those chords into a sound that was similar to some of the sounds that I was inspired by, kind of matched the vibe of them. And for, I want to say like 4 to 6 months, but very sporadically, we collaborated to make a backtrack for my song. So now I have a backtrack for my song and it sounds exactly like the way that I envisioned in my head. Unbelievable. I want to say from writing the song to getting this backtrack, it's taken me like 2 years. So I hope that shows you there's no rush. There's time to figure it out for the first time. Just do what you can do. I also hope that shows that you can meet people. Once you start putting yourself in a space where you can meet creative collaborators and introduce yourself as a creative person, as a songwriter, it opens up all sorts of doors for yourself. But you have to put yourself out there. That's the scary thing. Now I have a backtrack. Okay, what do I do now? I always knew that I wanted to go into a recording studio to record my vocals because I wanted it to sound professional. One thing that really helped me was I recorded every single vocal in my closet prior. So I figured out the harmonies and I figured out exactly what I wanted to do vocally with the song by myself in my recording at home, put that into Logic Pro, and then brought my computer over to the recording studio so I had everything planned out already. Now, I don't necessarily think you need to do that if you have access to a studio full-time or if you have the entire day booked. For me, I have a financial budget and I knew that I couldn't stay all day at a studio. So what did I do? I pre-planned what I was going to do before going in so that I could do it in as short of time span as possible. For 3 hours in the studio working with an audio engineer, I paid $270. Also, if you are going to a recording studio for the first time, I'm going to try to paint a picture of how it went for me so that you have a sense of it before you go in for the first time. If you've never been into a recording studio before, there is a booth where there's a microphone, and usually you will be in the booth by yourself if you're a singer. Outside of the booth, there are 1 to 2 audio engineers. They have their whole system and computer laid out in front of them. You communicate through your microphone in the booth. You're the only person in your space, and you are hearing the audio engineers through headphones. And it's your decision what you want to do with your time, but for me, I told the audio engineers that I was the most concerned with getting everything recorded, and I was interested in comping the vocals or editing the vocals at home. And I'm gonna learn from YouTube videos now how to use Pro Tools, how to add effects that make my voice sound softer, and how to edit the different takes so that I can mash all my favorite takes together. I would be lying to you if I said that this process wasn't overwhelming. I definitely have procrastinated and stressed out because it's so hard feeling like you're doing everything by yourself and for the first time figuring everything out for yourself, but you just have to do it. Like, if this is something that's important to you, give yourself the permission to be bad at it at first. The most important thing is that you're getting started. I'm going to sit at my computer, put it all together, and try to make sense out of Pro Tools because it is my first time using that software. This is the raw vocal track. You're just not gonna learn unless you mess up. Yesterday I hated Pro Tools. I think there's a little bit of a learning curve. Today, it's my best friend. I love it so much.
Like I was gold and streaks of beauty in the sun.